everybody, and we are back with some more Super Castlevania 4 with DrunkenDraconian. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and kick it on over to you. Good luck and have fun!
Hey everybody, we are doing a no candles run, which is going to be quite different from the run you just saw. I'm really glad that you were graced by the voice of D&D Nat. He filled your heads with a whole bunch of information, which is only quasi-relevant to this run. But I think I will just get on the get-go and start it up. So my timer will do a 4-second countdown, and it starts as soon as I gain control of Simon. So I will give you a go as soon as I am ready. Hold on to your butts. 2, 1, go. Alright, so this run is quite different. I am not allowed to whip any candles. I'm not allowed to break any walls. And I'm not allowed to pick up the secret underneath the stairs just before Dracula. So if you think about it a little bit, that basically means that I'm stuck with essentially 1 health bar for each stage. I can't pick up any extra health. And you would think that I wouldn't be able to get any weapons or upgrades, but luckily there is exactly 2 enemies in this entire game which will drop me a whip upgrade. And I'm going to take full advantage of that. That's not till stage 3 though, so I am stuck doing low percent strats. You can jump over that guy and not get hit, but it's quite tough. And that bottom skeleton was not very nice either. So the name of the game is not to take damage. There's going to be certain sections where you want to damage boost through spikes or really dense enemies. But really the whole point here is just to make it through without getting touched by the enemies too much and without messing up the furniture. So right here you got to be very careful. Even if you let your whip go limp, it could break that wall. The skeleton was nice. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of manipulation of movement to change how certain enemies may spawn, especially bats. Sections like where I'm going through right now, there's a lot of candles everywhere, and unless you are certain that you're not going to hit them, you're probably better off just taking a hit. Hopefully I don't hit any candles here. If I do, I'm just going to keep going. We'll call it a marathon run instead of a PB attempt. But I will be treating it as a PB attempt all the way through. Going to go for all of the difficult strats, all of the risky stuff, and hope that we make it through. So right there, the 2 jumps I did were enough to spawn those Medusa heads a little bit higher and just kind of keep them out of the way. Alright. First boss, Leather Whip. He's a little scary, but not too much to worry about. Oop, almost just died. Okay, we're good. Alright, so unfortunately I don't have the crosses to stack and kill the bosses in almost no time. But making it through stage 1 and living, that's kind of the key. So stage 2 has some of the worst enemies for this category. Just a whole bunch of monsters in the forest that like to jump out at you. Hands that like to grab you. And a whole bunch of candles at the least opportune heights possible. So the name of this stage really is not to take any health, because with Leather Whip, the midway boss, Medusa, they're just quite the troll. It's going to take quite a few whips to knock him down, and Medusa's throwing a whole bunch of snakes at you the whole time. Yeah, that's a really tight whip. You got to make sure that you keep your forward momentum so that that porcupine doesn't get in your way. But yeah, these birds, if you don't kill them, these first set of birds are one thing, but the birds coming up are even worse. All right, and don't even get me started on the frogs. At least this isn't second loop. In second loop, you can't even kill the frogs with one hit. Oof. Alright, yeah, so here's the nasty bird section. This guy can just be... These birds just have such a wide range of things they can do for RNG. Okay. And with all these nasty candles... It's almost like the enemies are like drawn to overlapping the candles. Alright. That last hit was a little bit unfortunate, but half health after Medusa is actually very good. So like D&D Nat was saying in Kenshin's run, we're really trying to get pushed forward as much as we can, but we don't get the benefits of the... Ooh, we're just going to hit that spike right there. Hit the candle, but picking up a whip upgrade from the candle is a really big no-no, so we're just going to assume like that didn't happen. The nice thing about having the extra health here is that we can take a whole bunch of boosts now. We're not going to go for the jump strats. That's one of the things that makes this category just super scary. One mistimed whip, like that whip was only a couple frames too early, and I ended up hitting a candle. But it's a speedrun as well, so we've got to do what we got to do. Feel free to playfully make fun of me for hitting that candle. I deserve it. Bam. Alright, not too bad. That death from hitting the candle was not too costly. Alright. Stage 3 is really where things start getting really interesting. There's a whip upgrade that we are going to pick up, that we're allowed to pick up, because it drops from an enemy and not from a candle. But there's a few sort of branching paths as far as how you tackle this stage. Because if you take damage early, you're better off damage boosting through a lot of the stage. Alright, this guy's being very uncool. But yeah, since we haven't picked up our whip upgrade yet, it's not too big a deal if we end up taking a death, but once we pick up the whip upgrade, there is no other place in the entire game to pick up a whip upgrade. So if that does happen, we are just going to pick it up for a marathon safety, but ideally it doesn't happen. Alright, some tight jumps here. This is where things really start to get difficult. Okay. And we have a ring glitch here. Fortunately, with the short whip, we're not able to get to the higher platform, so we have to take a bit of a slower form of the ring glitch. But that's also true for low percent. Alright. So this is the screen. Oh, we're going to take advantage of an intentional death here. Just fill our health up. And once we get to the bone dragon here... This guy. Now, this enemy and the bone serpent on this screen are the only two enemies in the entire game which will drop you a whip upgrade. I'm only going to pick up the one because a shorter whip reduces the chances of accidentally hitting a candle later on. I'm not able to do a few strats which are a little bit faster, but overall, the safety of making sure your run stays valid is a little bit more important in my eyes. Because even though this is a speed run, making sure that you reach the end while it's still valid is almost more important. Alright. There's a ring glitch there that Kenshin did, which is also not possible to do because of the short whip. Okay, Orphic Vipers. This is going to be a typical whip-only fight. We've got lots of health, so we can just kind of breeze through and tank any hits as they come. Cool. That was pretty good. If you get perfect whips, you can normally kill one of the dragon heads sooner and reduce a bit of lag. Now we're on to stage 4. So since the enemies are becoming quite a bit more beefy, I'm going to start doing some stuff called whip cancels, where after your whip is fully extended, you can change it into a limp whip, which allows you to end it a little bit sooner. And you're able to whip at full damage quite a bit faster than if you were just to sit there and hit the whip button. Yeah, this guy can be a jerk if he hangs around the candles too much. The only way is to jump over him if he decides to stay there too long. So taking 2 hits means I'm going to have to take this boss fight a little bit slow, a little bit safe. Oh, I got licked. Pretty bad luck for this boss. Alright. So this rotating room is a pretty slow section. If anyone in chat has a drink in their hands, it's time. It's time to get yourself hydrated, get yourself caffeinated, maybe even inebriated. I don't know what you're drinking, but cheers, everybody. Yeah, this is another demonstration of manipulating enemy spawns based on your position. So this next screen is actually quite scary. The skeletons that drop out of the ceiling, they drop at predetermined intervals if you move through the game, or move through the screen at roughly the same speed every time. But you also make use of a rosary and an invulnerability potion normally. Want this guy to jump? Nope. Okay. You might be getting some extra spawns. Yeah, there's one right there. So I just have to keep my head up. Make sure that it's going to be one here. Yeah. I've made mistakes enough that I know where guys are going to spawn. Yeah. Take this a little safe. It would have been possible to jump over that guy, but I was expecting a spawn on the platform beforehand. Yeah, stage 4 is probably one of the biggest hurdles for this run, because you have to deal with 2 bosses on 1 health bar. And Puexel is a random nightmare with all of the almonds, peanuts, or Brazil nuts, whatever you want to call them, that fall from the sky. Coronat isn't quite nearly as scary. But he's still someone that you have to watch out for. I did not want to take that boost. Or that one. Okay. Let's upgrade Cornot from scary to terrifying. Alright. Huh. That truly was terrifying. Not even close, though. Probably won't be the only boss that we complete with just 1 bar of health. Yeah, I like that clench emote. The walrus butt. Alright, got super lucky with no harpies in that first section. Second harpy section. Okay, I'll take it. That was amazing. That was super lucky. All right. Good. There's a lot of really scary candles that you have to watch out for. And here, I'm not... You can whip that bat without whipping the candle, but again, it's kind of like that situation that I had in stage 2, where if you whip just a little bit early, you end up picking up the candle. Now, I said stage 4 was a pretty big gatekeeper, but stage 6 is the gatekeeper. The screen just before the boss's screen is probably one of the most terrifying screens in the entire run. Yeah, right now we're just trying to make our way through without getting hit. Oh, I hit that candle. That never happens. Alright, so if anyone's counting, that's 2. One thing I plan to do is I plan to punish myself for any candles that I hit. And I'm going to donate $10 for every candle that I do hit. So if you want to play along, support a good cause. Seems like a fun way to do it. Put your wallets in my hands, trust me. Hit all the candles. I promise you that I won't just abuse your trust. I will not hit any candles that I can help. Alright. Late whip. And these ectoplasms, they're just so annoying that I'd rather not kill them. That's really lucky, getting a high axe spawn. And we're looking for another high axe spawn after we do our bat boost here. Alright. Yeah, the bat boost moving us up on the platform. He gave us a low axe, so we have to take a boost there. But the bat boost gets us through the ectoplasms as well, which is really nice. Okay. I don't know why, but I find it really satisfying that you just clip that skeleton I just killed on his head without hitting the candle. It's super satisfying. Alright. So normally you would just kind of jump through and try and work your way. Alright. Jump, jump. These red skellies, they end up being quite a bit more aggressive, but you can use that to your advantage because they'll always walk forward. Ah! Get away from me. They almost got me. They always walk forward twice, so you should be able to jump over them pretty consistently. But it is a little scary because they hit you for 4 pips of health. Okay. And then this guy can be annoying if he stays around the candle. Oh. So this is the room that I was talking about. But we're going to go for it. We're going to do the jumps. Jumping over these tables without getting hit. It's not a ridiculously hard window, but it's still pretty tight. And then these dancers can just spawn right on top of you if they choose to. 3 out of 4 is pretty good. Alright. More health than we even need. I probably could have boosted through the coffins. And yeah, luckily the dancers are actually quite an easy boss. Chain whip and knowledge of how they move around, and you just take care of it. Yeah, there's 2 candles hit so far. So there I was doing some whip cancels to kill that guy a little bit faster. And you might be thinking that it's scary because I might hit the candles, but I was doing whip cancels by pressing up instead of pressing down. Okay, high axe? Nice. Okay. That's a tough strat. Really nice 7-1 so far. Making it through this first screen without taking any damage normally gives you the buffer that you need to have a pretty safe rest of the stage. But I am kind of talking out my butt because we do have the book jump coming up. And I promised you guys I would go for everything that I can, and this is under that umbrella of everything. Alright, here we go. Nice. Ugh. Not only is that a pretty tight trick, but it's also something that is very easy to accidentally hit a candle. So you can make it through these bats without getting hit. Like, nice. Just like that. It's all about how you jump. Alright, so we've actually got more health than I know what to do with, so we're going to take all the boosts on the screen just before the boss. Too bad Bobby's not here to do his thing. I don't have the fortitude in my throat right now to do a big guttural Grackwool scream. Alright.
Alright, so I'm gonna pop in because we have a question from the chat asking, getting wall meat, does that count like hitting a candle?
For the current rule set that I'm using right now, yes, wall meats are banned. It's no candles, no walls, and no secret before Dracula. So there is no possible way to get health along the way, unfortunately. But I'm a glutton for punishment. But the nice thing about this run is no one else runs it, so I've actually changed the rules a few times to suit my needs. If you feel like running a challenge run like this, feel free to play it how you want. Banning the Dracula secret is probably the first thing that I would change if I were to change the rules. I originally used to have low percent rules as well, so you would not be allowed to... Yeah, I just have to take that hit. God. Yeah, all these candles are really hard to hit. But I used to have low percent rules where you weren't allowed to pick up any upgrades and you were playing through the entire game with your leather whip. And it turned into quite the slog, and it was just, for lack of a better way to describe it, not fun. Alright, let's get this. Oh. Good, okay. It's quite the challenge, but basically doing half damage compared to Chain Whip makes a lot of the bosses and a lot of the stages just... It pushes it to a very, very large extreme. Alright, so first one's good. Let's see if I got a good drip spawn here. No, not quite, but we're still through. Normally you would just pick up a rosary there and you'd be fine, but it's banned, not allowed. Health is looking pretty good though. We'll take a couple boosts here on the last screen. Alright. Yeah, take this boost. Yeah, this is another section where it's very easy to hit a candle if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. And there's the second boost. We'll smell the meat in this candle, but we won't whip it. Alright, not too bad of a Vegas. Sometimes Vegas just decides to get you. Ooh, I knew he was going to do a double walk forward there. I'm glad that I moved out of the way. He would have got me otherwise. Yeah, no candles second loop is not something that I'm very interested in. I think I might do some more low candles, low percent at some point, but not anytime in the near future. So stage 9, just because of how random the boss is a stage that you don't want to take any damage in. Essentially none. Ooh. Yeah, that was a pretty bad pattern for those skillies. But I have a budget of 1 unintentional hit in this stage. I'd rather just not use it if I can. There are 2.5 boosts, which I will generally always take unless my health is really bad. Okay. This is everyone's favorite section. Oh no. Well, we'll pretend that didn't happen. I'm pretty sure what happened there was I thought I was on the platform, but it looks like I just kind of walked off the edge. And I didn't get a chance to jump in time before I ended up falling. Yeah, that's probably one of the harder sections for a lot of challenge runs, like low percent second loop. Dealing with that skeleton in an efficient way is very, very difficult. Kenshin's asking what my current sum of best is. My current sum of best is about 38 minutes. My current PB of a valid run is 40 minutes and 45 seconds. And my current PB in an invalid run with 2 candles hit is 39 minutes and 18 seconds. Alright, we got a slightly better pattern there. 2 hits is not good, though. We have to make the... Remember how I said half a boost? There's a 50-50 chance of getting boosted right here. And I didn't get boosted, so we're back on track. That's awesome. Yeah, this game has some frame rules where it only checks for a collision every other frame. And the way that you set that up is just a whip onto the guy and then a jump. And you get hit by him at the same time as you hook onto the ring, so the game has to decide, will he take damage or not? And I got pretty lucky there. So the bat is going to be a little tight. I think I'm going to end up having to take this screen a little bit safe because of the extra damage boost I took. Yeah, this room just has so many candles that... It's very, very easy to accidentally hit them. Yeah, so ideally you would have the health that you could boost through the first Bone Serpent there, and it despawns the second Bone Serpent because there's just too many sprites on screen. And it's the most elegant way to get through there with quite a bit of speed, but health being the way it is, I like to enter the Zapbat fight with at least half health. Alright, so I'm actually going to wait here just a little bit. I want him to swoop down and attack, and I'll kill him right above me. Nice. Really awesome cleanup there. If you kill him at the right height, he doesn't move around too much. And you're able to just kind of stand there and whip. And with enough health to tank 1 or 2 hits, he falls pretty quickly. Oh yeah, and photosensitivity warning post-fight. Sorry. Alright, so we're on to Stage A. Stage A has some difficult platforming, but in terms of the no candles run, it doesn't feel too much different to much of the other runs. There's not really any necessary meat that you have to grab. Yeah, that guy was being a jerk, though. Okay. This is a screen where a lot of no candles runs have gone to die. There's just so many different heights of candles and different positionings. It really feels like the level designers started to get creative with their candle placement, which I think looks cool. And for the game, it's functionally really awesome. But in terms of this run, it's a bit of a nightmare. So you really only want to whip exactly when you need to and nothing more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like I said, there's not a lot of health issues with this stage. It's just getting through issues. Alright, should be good to not get hit by that fireball. Simon's wearing his fireproof boots. Nice. Delayed my third whip on the Skelly Knight so that I could hit the red one as well. Unfortunate. Left side spawn is the worst for any of the no sub-weapon categories. So like low percent whip only. There's just not much you can do with the left side spawn. This, on the other hand, is a lot better. Alright. And this is the best spawn, because you can stand here and quick whip him. Alright, so 2 3/4 cycles. Pretty good fight. Oh, and that's a gold stage, by the way. Yeah, that's the best I've ever done stage A in this category. That was awesome. Alright, so I'm sure all of you are thinking, but Draconian, how are you going to make it through 4 bosses without picking up any health? Well, the answer is making it through the first 2 screens before the bosses without taking any damage. Yeah, overall this run is going very well. The pace is very good. Boom, boom. One of the biggest things you do not want to do in this section is improvise. You want to stick to the script, stick to the plan, and just go. Alright, rising platforms. Ah, sweet. Actually got a good pattern. Look at that. So this section is actually very scary. These skeletons will just wreck your day and entice you to hit a candle. So even though it's a little slow, you just do what you need to do to get through. Alright. Yeah, Kenshin, thank you. We really need things to be good here. This guy can ruin an entire run if he decides to dash me in the first phase. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, when I originally did this with low percent rules, this is where a lot of runs went to die. Good old Slogra. Oh, he got me once. Once is fine. Anything more, not so much. Oh. Scary. Okay, we're good. He got me twice. This guy. This guy. So yeah, he's nice. Just smell the candle a little bit. See if you can pick up some health from it just by smelling it. So this guy, 10 hits first phase. Okay, taking an extra hit, not ideal. $11 hits for the second phase. Things are okay, though. We just have to make it through the death fight without taking any damage. So, you know, easy peasy. But if we time our whips just right. Alright. We should be able to do this. 6 health for the old Dracky boy. But the nice thing about Dracula, just like the whip upgrades that we picked up in stage 3, any drops from enemies are fair game. And Dracula, he's a nice host. You know, we made it through his castle. We didn't hit too many candles, just 2 of them. So maybe he'll be nice enough to give us a little supper. We do have to take this a little bit safe because of the health, so I'm only going to go for 2 hits per cycle for the first bit. Alright, now we should be able to push him into the meat phase. But of course the meatball just decided to go flying away. That's a little unfortunate, but we should be able to make do. Oh. Come on, game. Okay. Not the nicest of Drac spawns. Hey, we got some meat. Okay, we're good. Kind of wanted to avoid using pause strats at the very end. Let's go, Dracky boy. And he's down. Nice. So yeah, this is the no candles run. It's quite the challenge, even if you just want to do it without a timer. See if you can make it through the game without hitting any candles. It's really fun, especially if you've beaten the game quite a few times. And time. Wow, yeah, 42:11. I was expecting like a 45, 46 minute marathon run. Hope I'm not throwing off your schedule or anything.
No, never. GG on that run. That was a ton of fun to watch.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, now I can relax a little bit. It's one of those things you kind of go into flow mode and you just go for it.
No, I totally get that. While we're wrapping up, is there any shout-outs you want to give? Anything about the community you want to say? The floor is yours.
Right on. Castlevania in general is probably one of the best speedrunning communities I've ever been a part of. The Castlevania, all the different games, they have great communities. Castlevania 1 has tournaments and other events that go on all the time. Weekly races. Castlevania 4 has a weekly race. We actually had it earlier tonight before I was playing here. But you can check out the Discord. There's links on quite a few of the pages on speedrun.com. It's quite easy to find. And yeah, just shoutouts to everyone in the community. Kenshin and DDNet for the run earlier. Bobby Blacktastic for his run. And you got to stick around for Cronin's run. Cronin is kind of a kindred spirit to myself. He likes to do a lot of, whip only, low percent, just like tough as nails challenge runs. So you're in for a treat for the run coming up here. And just a big shout out to Strizer for all the work, and you as well, and all the other members that are helping out in the background and in the foreground. It's a great cause. It's a great thing. And the only other thing I'd like to say is, while it is very amazing to donate and support, one of the other things that you could do to help fight cancer is to get yourself regularly checked up at the doctor. It's one of those things that if you catch it early, you might save yourself 20 years, and it's a no-brainer. You really should.
No, I completely agree on that.
But other than that, I think I'm done. I'll pass it on to you, and thanks for having me. It's a blast.
Yes, no, thank you for the run. That was, like I said, it was a ton of fun. And yes, like they said, definitely stick around because we have more Castlevania coming up. Next up is Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, run by Kernan. Now make sure, everybody, that you do !R to go ahead and follow our Drunken Draconian. And then, as we were saying, you know, every little bit helps, and, you know, we're getting closer to that $3,000 goal. !D will get you that donation link. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, get set up for the next run. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.